खास बात।
वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है।
अरे मेरे राजा,
सबका राजा और प्योर मसाला।
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Republic TV. This is Shivam Dutt Mehta, and now let's shift our focus and get you all the top developments from the world of business now in Business Wraps. Apple has briefly crossed the $5 trillion market capitalization mark for the first time, becoming only the second company after Nvidia to achieve the milestone. The iPhone maker's shares touched a record high, pushing its market value above $5 trillion during trading before settling slightly lower. Apple has gained from strong product demand and a strategy of avoiding massive artificial intelligence infrastructure spending compared to other big tech companies. The company's stock has risen around 25% this year, outperforming several major technology rivals. Analysts say steady iPhone pricing and new financing options have also helped boost consumer demand. The Finance Ministry has called for quicker policy responses and faster implementation of reforms to maintain India's attractiveness for domestic and foreign investors. In its monthly economic review for July, the ministry said India has remained resilient despite global challenges, but warned that continued growth will require policy agility and timely execution. The report highlighted rising geopolitical tensions in West Asia, higher energy prices, and uncertainty over global growth and inflation. The ministry said faster reforms will be crucial as global economic uncertainties are expected to continue in the coming years. Shares of major copper companies including Hindalco Industries, Vedanta and Hindustan Copper gained in Wednesday's trade amid expectations of a sharp rise in global copper demand. The demand for the key industrial metal is expected to nearly triple by 2030, driven by growth in renewable energy, electric vehicles, power transmission, construction and manufacturing sectors. Refined copper demand is projected to rise to around 3 to 3.3 million tons by 2030 from the current 1.2 million tons. On the back of these demand expectations, Vedanta and Hindalco shares climbed up to 2%, while Hindustan Copper gained over 1%. And NCR's real estate sector is entering a new phase where execution capability is emerging as the key differentiator for developers. Industry experts say traditional advantages such as land access, strong relationships, and capital availability are becoming increasingly institutionalized, with investors now demanding greater transparency, governance and accountability. Institutional capital is moving towards platforms with proven execution capabilities rather than just individual project opportunities. Experts believe the new decade of real estate growth will be shaped by disciplined capital allocation, consistent delivery, and the ability to manage risks across market cycles. Alright, viewers, time to slip into a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere. Coming up next, Lok Sabha to table Vande Mataram bill today, bill to criminalize insults to national song.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
I wake up wearing someone else again. Skin tight like porcelain. I don't recognize these eyes. Something scratching from inside. Don't let it slip. I'm losing control. I don't wanna be safe anymore.
finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा.
כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות. כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות וגם לתאם. סיימתי עכשיו פגישה מצוינת עם הנשיא טראמפ. כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית, עם הבנה על היעד המשותף להבטיח שלאיראן לא יהיה נשק גרעיני וגם יעדים אחרים. אחת השיחות הטובות ביותר שקיימתי עם נשיא ארצות הברית, ידידנו דונלד טראמפ. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות וגם לתאם תאומים שהם חשובים לביטחון ולעתיד של מדינת ישראל.
It was a truly monumental moment in Senate. And of course, he was also a great champion of the United States Supreme.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and a very good morning. You're watching live this morning on Republic TV. My name is Nayan Shukla. The Lok Sabha has passed the anti-paper league bill with stricter penalties and after a heated debate that took place in the Lok Sabha. In fact, now the bill will move forward and go to the Rajya Sabha. We're tracking news by the hour, but first up, the headlines. After Lok Sabha passed the anti-paper league bill, it now moves to Rajya Sabha for voting today. Lok Sabha to table Vande Mataram bill today, bill to criminalize insults to national song. Over 40 civilians killed in POK during heavy crackdown. Protest wave reaches Islamabad. Boxer Arundhati Chaudhary advances to semi-finals. India assured of another medal in Commonwealth Games. Meta responds to IT Ministry over PM's content, says additional oversight will be in place. Viewers, the Joint Awami Action Committee, which is the JAAC, has now confirmed that over 40 innocent civilians are killed in the last 3 days. This is the breaking news of the hour. 40 civilian lives have been taken away by the Pakistani army in the last 3 days. This is the long march to Muzaffarabad, which has been taken from Rawalakot to Muzaffarabad. JAAC is saying that the Pakistani forces are firing on peaceful protesters, and they have stated that 80% of the people of POK have rejected the elections. Now, there's an election that is, of course, going to be should be taking place, but 80% of the POK has rejected the election. In fact, 90% of the people in POK are one with the Joint Awami Action Committee. They've added that the Pakistani military regime does not want talks, but only bullets and brutality against civilians. So on your television screen are visuals from the firing that took place, and so far 40 lives have been taken. But unfortunately, there's no one to listen to the plight of these civilians. 40 civilians were killed by the Pakistani army in the last 3 days. And what we're also understanding to know is that more than 200 plus civilians have been injured while the Pakistani forces continue to fire on these peaceful protesters.
पीछे चलो बैक हो जाओ पीछे चलो बैक हो जाओ
Nashana, Nashana!
Viewers, these are the civilians who are undertaking a long march from Rawalakot to Muzaffarabad. These are common civilians from the Pakistani administered Kashmir who are fighting for their rights, basic rights, and also for almost now 3 days, 40 casualties have been reported so far. Let's listen in.
बदतरीन जारियत की गई पाकिस्तानी फोर्सेस की जानिब से, पाकिस्तानी गवर्नमेंट की जानिब से स्ट्रेट फायर किए गए और इसी तरह हमारी अभी जो मजमूई तौर पर हमारे जो क्योंकि दीगर धरनों के अंदर उस तरह का टेलीफोनिक रब्ता जो है वो डिस्कनेक्ट है 40 के करीब जो इतलात मिली हैं कि 40 के करीब अभी शहादतें क्योंकि मीरपुर के अंदर भी शहादतें कंफर्म नहीं हो रही कि कितनी है बहरहाल 40 के करीब शहादतें हो चुकी हैं इन 3 दिनों के अंदर और हमारे सैकड़ों अफराद जो है ज़ख्मी हो चुके हैं। मैं समझता हूँ कि इस वक्त जो बदतरीन दहशतगर्दी की गई कि वो हथियार इस्तेमाल किए गए जो हथियार कंट्रोल लाइन पे होने चाहिए, जो हथियार हिंदुस्तान पे इस्तेमाल होते हैं, उन हथियारों का इस्तेमाल, जदीद हथियारों का इस्तेमाल जम्मू कश्मीर की नक्ते अवाम पे किया गया और ये मैं समझता हूँ कि बहुत बड़ा जुल्म और बर्बरियत है कि क्योंकि हमारी कोई लड़ाई नहीं है। हम पहले भी कह चुके कि पाकिस्तान के साथ हमारी ना कोई लड़ाई है, ना पाकिस्तानी फोर्सेस के साथ कोई लड़ाई है, ना पाकिस्तानी इदारों के साथ, ना ही हम पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ हैं। हम अपने बेसिक राइट्स के लिए स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं। हम तालीम, इलाज, सेहत, अपने इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, अपनी जो बुनियादी ज़रूरियात हैं, अपना जो हक़ मलकियत है, हक़ हुक्मरानी है, उसके लिए हम पीसफुली स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं। हमारा किसी से कोई लेना ना देना नहीं है।
The current government and the current establishment doesn't want any talk. They just talk with the bullets, with the brutality, and killing the innocent youth of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Not in Drake, not in only Rawalakot, but across the AJK, in Mirpur, in Rawalakot, in Baloch, in Muzaffarabad. Everywhere the internet has been shut down again, and they propagate that they are conducting the elections. But what we have seen in these elections, the pro-Pakistani parties came here when they came here, they are allowed to campaign for the election. But on the other side, the people of Jammu and Kashmir, around 80%, have just rejected this political process because this is not a political process. The process should be peaceful. The process should be deliberately allowed everybody. On the other side, the Jammu and Kashmir Joint Awami Action Committee declared as terrorist, where the 90% people are with Jammu and Kashmir Joint Awami Action Committee.
We are shifting our focus where Republic TV reveals the striking indifference of the global media regarding the dreadful killings occurring on the Pakistani-occupied Kashmir. In recent weeks, unarmed civilians, demonstrators of Rawalakot and Muzaffarabad have been ruthlessly shot by Pakistani security personnel. Here's a full report by our editor-in-chief, Arnab Goswami. Take a look at it.
Ladies and gentlemen, big story tonight, which has got ignored in terms of the media attention on CJP, is that on the 27th and 28th of July, the day before and yesterday, after 51 days of peaceful sit-ins in Rawalakot, the Joint Awami Action Committee resumed its long march towards Muzaffarabad and POK. So there is chaos in POK right now. I have always believed it's a matter of time before they break away and they come back like they've always been. They're an integral part of the country. We need to make POK, practically and totally and irretrievably once again with us, which will happen. But what did the Pakistani security forces do? Today they are carrying out a genocide. The plight of the people in Kashmir that Mirwais Omar Farooq does not have the courage to talk about. He's a coward. Omar Abdullah also will not talk about what the Pakistanis are doing, what the ISI is doing to Kashmiris in POK. Neither will Mehbooba Mufti, of course, she's on the payroll, so I'm pretty sure, I suspect, of the ISI. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll show you 5 visuals which you need to see about what Pakistan is doing to the Kashmiris. They should keep their mouth shut and not talk about Kashmiris anymore because they carry out the genocide of Kashmiris. First visual is the massacre on the streets of POK. Hear this. Open firing on innocent people. Visual 2 right now. A crowd of people engulfed in smoke due to rampant shooting by the Pakistani Rangers. Hundreds have been massacred in POK. We pray for the people of POK, for the brave people of POK who we know are longing to be back in their homeland of Bharat. We wait for the day this mass genocide stops. The Congress party should talk about it. And even the Tukre gang, CJP, ladies and gentlemen, Abhijit Dipke, a firm believer of the Tukre gang, the Tukre CJP should also maybe talk about it since they have decided to become a political party. Visual 3 tonight, so that nobody says, Arnab, you're not showing proof. Pakistani Rangers openly firing at a crowd of people as the crowd disperses amidst the shelling. And visual 4 is actually quite heartrending. An injured man being taken to an emergency ward, ladies and gentlemen. Blood is visible in his foot after he was injured in the violence. Bloodshed all over POK. My dear viewers of Republic, in the present context here in India, as we have all now realized, the CJP is with Greta Thunberg, foreign forces. The Pakistanis are also supporting the CJP, and a lot of support from Pakistani handles for the CJP. I want to tell the CJP, your alignment with the Tukre gang is clear. But why don't you talk about what's happening in Kashmir, since you're gratefully accepting support from all members of the Tukre gang, of which you are also a member, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear 2 of first-hand views of the people and what they are talking about the brutality by the Pakistani army.
इन ज़ालिमों को शर्म नहीं आती इस रोड पे जहाँ पे खून ही खून है गोलियां मार रहे हैं हमारे भाइयों को क्या तमाशा है ये आप हमारे पैसों पे पलते हैं ये गोलियां हमारे टैक्स के पैसे से खरीदते हमें मार रहे हो ज़ालिमों ये क्या कर रहे हो इंटरनेशनल मीडिया भाई सारी दुनिया ह्यूमन राइट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कहाँ मर गए आप सब लोग
Countless people in my Ramlakot have been murdered. Countless of my brothers, countless of my fathers have been killed in Ramlakot, and the world is staying silent. No one is speaking up for Kashmir. We never thought a day like this would come. We never thought we would have to see this day where our roads would be filled with our people's blood. Our soil is going to be covered with our people's blood.
कोई हया कर लो, जितनी इंटरनेशनल मीडिया देख रही है, प्लीज़ हमारा साथ दें. हम पूरा मन लोग गए हैं, बेशुमार लाशें, बेशुमार जख्मी भाई उठा के हमारे कंधे थक गए हैं. एक भाई ने आके अपना ऐसे रुमाल भाई निचोड़ा तो उसके अंदर से जो चीज़ निकली ना वो कश्मीरियों का लहू था. भाई साहब, कश्मीरियों का लहू था. ये हालात हैं यहाँ पे.
बहुत बुरी है, सबको मारी जा रही है लगातार. इतने तक 3 बंदूकों हेडशॉट इन्होंने किया.
Dear viewers of Republic, we are now hearing that 10,000 people have been killed in the last few days. This is among the worst genocides in the world. And yet, America is quiet, Trump is quiet. Most importantly, the Tukre gang in India is quiet. The Congress party is quiet. Mirwais Umar Farooq is quiet. Omar Abdullah is quiet. We've said that POK is an integral part of India. But this is the time to speak up and say more than that. If you're watching this broadcast, if there's something that you can do to stop this genocide, do that. And let's be sure of one thing. Even if CNN and BBC are not going to talk about the bloodshed and the genocide in POK, the Republic Media Network, bringing you these pictures, pleads to the conscience of these fake organizations like Al Jazeera. You see, Al Jazeera is a fraud organization. And that's why this fraud organization will not talk about the genocide in POK. Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN, they're all fraud organizations. The biggest genocide in the world is happening right before their eyes. And they're talking about the weather in London. Shame on them.
Viewers, the Rajya Sabha is set to debate for the anti-paper leak bill today after the Lok Sabha passed the bill on Wednesday, which was yesterday. This is the breaking news of the hour. There are other bills that will be discussed, but Rajya Sabha is set to debate on the anti-paper leak bill today. In fact, the breaking news is that other bills like the Vande Mataram bill, which was passed in the Rajya Sabha, is set to be introduced and debated in the Lok Sabha today. The government will also be present in the Supreme Court and the amendment of Bill 2026 for consideration and approval in the Lok Sabha. So many bills are going to be discussed, considering the Vande Mataram bill is tabled in Lok Sabha today, and also the anti-paper leak bill will be discussed in the Rajya Sabha also today. So there's going to be discussion by the Supreme Court judges in the Lok Sabha. Also, like I told you, the anti-paper leak bill is going to be tabled in Rajya Sabha today. So breaking news coming in for the hour. Viewers, 2 weeks after Republic's investigation into the foreign funding and alleged misuse of the FCRA registered organization, the Foreign Contribution Regulation Amendment Bill is expected to be tabled in the Parliament next week. The proposed legislation seeks to tighten scrutiny of the foreign contributions, introduce a new framework for managing assets of the organizations whose registrations are already cancelled or surrendered, and also plug legal and administrative gaps. As the bill heads for a debate, the political temperatures are expected to rise. We're tracking that for you, but take a look at this report.
Two weeks after Republic's investigation into foreign funding, the Foreign Contribution Regulation Amendment Bill is now expected to be tabled in Parliament next week. The proposed legislation is among the key bills lined up for discussion during the monsoon session. The bill is expected to be tabled after repeated hurdles due to the CJP protest. The bill proposes a new framework for managing foreign contributions and assets of organizations whose FCRA registrations are cancelled, surrendered, or cease to exist. According to the government, the amendments aim to plug administrative and legal gaps, strengthen transparency, and tighten security of foreign funding. The proposed changes also seek stronger oversight of foreign contributions, with the government maintaining that the objective is greater accountability and compliance under the FCRA framework. The opposition, however, has raised concerns that the amendments could expand government powers and impact the functioning and assets of charitable organizations. As the bill prepares to enter Parliament, political confrontation is expected to intensify. The government and opposition is likely to sharply differ over the future of Foreign Funding Regulations Act. But this also raises question on why is the opposition resisting the FCRA amendment? Is the concern about civil society or about tighter scrutiny of foreign funds? After Republic's investigation brought the misuse of foreign funding into the spotlight, all eyes are now on Parliament, where the FCRA amendment bill is expected to trigger one of the biggest debates of the monsoon session.
Viewers, we're heading into a short commercial break. You're watching live this morning on Republic TV with me, Nayan. Once you come back, there is Dilip Gawat securing the third gold. Mohammad Basil clinches the silver in the 100-meter T47 final. Murali Sri Sankar clinches a second silver in high jump. All of the Commonwealth Games updates for you on the other side.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा प्योर मसाला
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MDH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MDH
जब तक लाजवाब न बन जाए उसे नहीं इत्मीनान है, तभी तो रिचमंड बनना नहीं आसान है।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है।
अरे मेरी राजा,
सबका राजा प्योर मसाला।
地震発生直後 RKK 報道フロアでは大きな横揺れが。天井の看板、机の上のパソコンも
熊本県で震度7を観測しております。揺れの強かった地域につきましては、家の倒壊や土砂災害の危険があります。また、今後の地震や雨に。
You're watching live this morning. Breaking news for the hour. Dalip Gavit has secured India's third gold at the CWG. It is an overly joyed moment for India and another productive day by adding 3 more medals, including a gold and 2 silver to its ally. Dalip Gavit has secured India's third gold at CWG. He ran in a 100-meter T47 event and he won India's third gold at the Commonwealth Games.
हाँ, पहले स्टार्ट थोड़ा ये स्लो हो गया, बाद में थोड़ा ये स्पीड होने लगा। अच्छा, और अच्छा करेंगे। मेरे को 100 मीटर दौड़ना था। मैं पहले 400 करता हूँ, 400 मेन इवेंट है मेरा, तो इधर 100 मीटर दौड़ना था, इसलिए मुझे अच्छा लगा रेस। मैं ये प्यारा में इधर गोल्ड मेडल है, तो हम इंडिया वाले को भी थोड़ा मेहनत करनी है और हमारे देश का झंडा ऊंचा ले रहना है।
It is my first medal, first international medal. I'm so happy. Last year I started para sports. I'm so happy. Before start, I थोड़ा tight हो गया. It is about climate. I ran last month 10:63. That was an Asia report. I'm so disappointed with that time. I have no problem.
Viewers, weightlifter Bindya Rani, who also won a bronze in Glasgow's Commonwealth Games in the women's 58 kg weightlifting event, secured India's 5th weightlifting medal. The athlete made a gritty comeback to settle for bronze after 2 unsuccessful clean and jerk attempts. Let's hear what the experience she had and what she spoke to Republic. Take a look.
Now, another proud moment for India at Commonwealth was also when Bindya Rani Devi claimed the bronze medal in the women's 58 kg weightlifting event at the Commonwealth Games. The bronze medalist now joins us live. Bindya Rani, thank you so much for speaking to Republic. पहले gold, silver और अब bronze. मेडल के बिना आप कभी वापस नहीं आई हैं CWG से?
पहली बार बर्मिंघम में मेरा सिल्वर आया। उसके टाइम तो मेरा बॉडी वेट भी 55 में, मतलब अभी मैंने काफ़ी मेरा बॉडी वेट भी चेंज करके इस बार खेला है 58 कैटेगरी में। फिर भी मैंने इस बार ब्रॉन्ज मेडल आया, वो सेटिस्फाई है मेरे को।
जी बिंद्या रानी, आपके अर्ली ट्रेनिंग डेज मणिपुर से कैसे आपने डिसाइड किया कि आप वेट लिफ्टिंग में जाएंगी? मीराबाई चानू भी वहाँ से हैं, कई ऐसे हम प्लेयर्स देख चुके हैं जो वेट लिफ्टिंग की तरफ वहाँ से जाते हैं। वहाँ पर क्या सुविधाएं हैं और किस चीज़ ने आपको मोटिवेट किया कि आपको वेट लिफ्टिंग की तरफ बढ़ना है?
मैं तो 2008 से मैंने स्पोर्ट्स में स्टार्ट किया है, ताइक्वांडो में। तो उसकी टाइम में मेरा पापा लोग कुछ गवर्नमेंट जॉब नहीं है, तो वो लोग ने ऐसे दूसरा का घर पे काम करके और खेती करके और टाइम टू टाइम का ऐसे जॉब करके मेरे को कुछ टेंशन नहीं देता मेरा पापा मम्मा लोग ने। मैं जो भी ऐसे स्पोर्ट्स में आपने जो ऐसे सप्लीमेंट वगैरह खाने का हो ना हो, सब कुछ मेरा पापा मम्मा लोग ने मेरे लिए सब कुछ करके आया, अभी भी करे सपोर्ट।
जी बिल्कुल, बहुत खुशी की बात है कि आपको सपोर्ट मिलता रहा। बट बिंद्या रानी, चैंपियंस एक तरफ, बट जब आप तैयारी नहीं कर रही होती हैं तब आप क्या करती हैं? आपका बेस्ट टाइम पास रूटीन क्या है?
मैं तो सच में बोले तो मैं इतना
इंजॉय तो करता है, फिर भी मुझे इतना मैं लोनली रूम में गाना सुन के और ऐसे मूवी देखी वो थोड़ा पसंद है मेरे को, स्टे करना रूम पे। मतलब क्योंकि आज थोड़ा बाहर जाने तो दिमाग में मेरा हमेशा आज थोड़ा बाहर जाएगा तो कल थक जाएगा, ट्रेनिंग नहीं कर पाएगा, ऐसे ज़्यादा सोचता है मुझे।
Ji, thank you so much, Vindhya, for speaking to Republic. The champions are making India proud, and India is proud of the weightlifters, the Paralympians. Everybody is putting in all the effort. Thank you so much.
में सबसे हमारा मणिपुर का एक स्टोरी है, वो तो सॉन्ग नहीं है,
जी
स्टोरी है मणिपुर का। ऐसे मणिपुरी स्टोरी वो और महाभारत बहुत सुनता है, और कभी कभार लता मंगेशकर का वो लता मंगेशकर जी कभी इसका सॉन्ग बहुत माइंड रिलैक्स देता है।
Thank you so much, Vindhya Rani, हमसे जुड़ने के लिए and sharing this lovely experience, and we wish you all the best for your future. The Asian Games is next. Thank you so much for now joining us.
Viewers, we're heading into a short commercial break. You're watching live this morning on Republic TV with me, Nayan. Coming up after a short commercial break, Meta responds to IT Ministry over PM's content, says additional oversight will be in place after a short break.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ, स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות. כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות וגם לתאם. סיימתי עכשיו פגישה מצוינת עם הנשיא טראמפ. כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית, עם הבנה על היעד המשותף להבטיח שלאיראן לא יהיה נשק גרעיני וגם יעדים אחרים. אחת השיחות הטובות ביותר שקיימתי עם נשיא ארצות הברית, ידידנו דונלד טראמפ. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות וגם לתאם תאומים שהם חשובים לביטחון ולעתיד של מדינת ישראל.
It was a truly monumental moment in Senate. And of course, he was also a great champion of the United States Supreme Court. His impassioned defense of a wonderful person, a great gentleman, Justice Kavanaugh, ended a disgraceful attack on this very good man and gave us one of the greatest moments the Senate has ever seen. It was a truly monumental moment in Senate history. I believe it was Lindsey's perhaps finest hour. Destroyed their military. They want to meet, and we're meeting. We'll see what happens. There's a chance we could make a deal. And nobody tells me what we should be selling or not. Turkey's been a tremendous ally for me. Now, look, Turkey's been a great ally for me. You know, I think he's done a very good job. Did a good job with Syria. He's a friend of mine, and nobody tells me what we should be selling or not. Turkey's been a tremendous ally for me. It was up to Turkey. Turkey would Turkey's not a big fan of Israel. You know that, right? And not a big fan of Bibi. But they've been great for me. Turkey has been great. Very powerful country, by the way. Tremendous military. Very big military. Very powerful military. Has a lot of great equipment.
You're watching live this morning. Headlines for the hour. After Lok Sabha passed the anti-paper leak bill, it moves to the Rajya Sabha for voting today. Lok Sabha to table Vande Mataram bill today, bill to criminalize insults to national song. Over 40 civilians killed in POK during heavy crackdown. Protest wave reaches Islamabad. Boxer Arundhati Chaudhary advances to semi-finals. India assured of another medal in Commonwealth Games. Meta responds to IT Ministry over PM's content, says additional oversight will be in place. Viewers, President Donald Trump stated that the United States will strike Iran forcefully in retaliation. This is the breaking news of the hour. It is declared that it is our turn for them to hit. Now, President Trump is stating that the United States will launch a forceful strike against Iran in retaliation. Donald Trump has said, and I quote, "It is our turn to hit them," following an attack on the American forces. Now, according to Donald Trump, the forces have intercepted 5 rockets fired at their positions the previous night. He's also claiming that Iran is aware that the United States' response is imminent. Donald Trump also said that Iran has urged the United States not to carry out the planned retaliation. Now, all of these remarks are coming amidst the ongoing tension between the recent attacks targeting United States military position in the region. So Donald Trump is issuing fresh warning to Iran and has said that it is now our turn to hit them, which he means is Iran.
Oh, I don't see that. No, we're not. No, we're gonna hit him very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because in that there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized, but you know we got to smack them a little bit.
On that, sir, is that in response to the attempted ballistic missile strike on Jordan last night? When you say it's our turn to
I think more so that, yeah, because there was another smaller event. But no, they sent 5 8,000-mile-an-hour missiles at us. And fortunately, we had our people operating the greatest equipment in the world, namely the Patriot system. Think of it, 5 missiles going 8,600 miles an hour, big ones, coming right at us, and all 5 were shot down. How about that, right? Pretty good. Nobody else could do that but us, yeah.
Viewers, in continuation with updates on Iran and US, it is reports that are indicating that Iran may soon receive around 400 rocket launchers from China routed through Pakistan. Now, these are reports that are claiming that Iran may soon receive 400 rocket launchers from China, with the shipment allegedly routed through Pakistan. Now, the reported transfer comes as tensions between the United States and Iran are continuing to rise. US President Donald Trump has said he would be surprised if the reports were true. Trump said the Chinese President Xi Jinping has previously given him strong assurances that China would not take part in such actions. Also, Donald Trump added that it would be surprising things like that happen. Xi has told me that very strongly he wouldn't partake, but he knows I'd be quite disappointed. So that's Donald Trump getting a reassurance from Xi Jinping that China would not be participating. But as for now, the reported arms have been transferred, has not independently been confirmed. But these are reports that are claiming that Iran may soon receive around 400 rocket launchers from China.
Xi told you that China would not give or sell Iran any weapons. And there's a new report that Iran's about to get 400 rocket launchers from China going through Pakistan to Iran.
Well, that would be surprising. I mean, things like that happen, but that would be surprising. He told me very strongly he wouldn't partake, and he knows I'd be quite disappointed. Yeah, please.
Mr. President,
And he's coming here, I think, on September 24th.
All right, viewers, there is more breaking news coming that explosions are heard in Bushehr and the Aban and also the Qasem Islands in the southern of Iran. This is the other breaking news that we're getting. Explosions have been heard. There are now confirmed news that there has been explosion in Iran's Bushehr, Abadan and the Qasem Islands. These are the heightened regional military tensions that have been reported. Initial reports from Iranian media also exposed that these explosions were heard in the areas. The cause, the target and the extent of damage is yet to be officially confirmed. But for what we know so far, there have been heavy explosions that have been reported in Bushehr, Abadan and the Qasem Islands, which is in the southern part of Iran. On your television screen are actually visuals from Bushehr and Abadan. Let's listen in.
ايه طار منها طاح منها شو واحد يطير على الثاني منها يوي ايه
Viewers, getting more breaking news where footage of the American HIMARS rocket artillery, which has launched surface-to-surface missiles at the Iranian target from the US base in Kuwait, is confirmed. This is the other breaking news that we're getting. United States has launched attacks using the HIMARS artillery system, which is one of the most advanced systems in the world. And we're going to be showing you footage of the American HIMARS rocket artillery launching a surface-to-surface missile at the Iranian targets from the United States base in Kuwait on your television screen right now.
هاي هسه حاليا
Viewers, in this explosive commentary, retired Major General G.D. Bakshi has delivered a scathing analysis of the ongoing US-Iran conflict. He's revealing how domestic lobbies and military miscalculations have trapped Donald Trump in an unwinnable war. From analyzing Iran's mountainous geography and underground military infrastructure to breaking down tripling American inventory depletion and billion-dollar defense losses. Major General Bakshi also exposes the harsh military reality on ground. He also issues a stark warning on how prolonging this conflict threatens to trigger a catastrophic global economic depression. Listen into his sharp remarks.
This is an unprecedented situation. Unprecedented in the annals of global history, where a small nation of 9 million, a small nation less than the smallest state of the United States, is dictating terms to the United States of America. Donald J. Trump had signed the Memorandum of Understanding with Iran with great flourish in the Versailles. You could have seen him emblazoning his trademark, huge signature onto that document, 14-point agreement. The moment he signed it, there was an outcry in the Zionist, Jewish-controlled media, and the Zionist lobby, the pro-Israel lobby in the United States went hammer and tongs and called it a surrender document. They said Donald Trump had chickened out. And Donald Trump suddenly realized that his very sensible move, the only sensible thing he did in this war was to shut it off and sign the MOU. That was the only sane, logical thing he has done in his entire second term, right? And he was pressurized, and within minutes he realized that his popularity was going down, even though he was doing the right thing for once. His popularity graph was plummeting to the bottom, that he was being proven to be a bloody loser. And so he changed track. He reneged from the memorandum of agreement that he had signed from day one. You see, the first para of the Memorandum of Understanding said that US and its allies would cease hostilities in all sectors including Lebanon. And the sovereignty and integrity of Lebanon was specifically mentioned in para 1 of the Memorandum of Understanding. And he disowned it. Israel treated this, trashed it with contempt. They said, we are going to continue fighting. We've signed no bloody peace deal, right? And Donald Trump initially said, oh, I am in charge. I will get him around. I will show him who's the boss. The whole world saw who the boss was. The boss was not Donald Trump. He was not calling the shots in this war. The boss was Netanyahu. Netanyahu, through the Zionist, Jewish, Israeli lobby in the United States, had tremendous leverage. It was whispered, it was rumored that Epstein was a Mossad agent, and because of him, the leverage that Netanyahu had over Donald Trump was unprecedented. He had not had this leverage over any other president in the United States, and therefore he had twisted Donald Trump's tail to make him fight this war to destroy Iran. He had talked Donald Trump into attacking. He had told him it would be quick in, quick out victory. It would be like Venezuela, as easy a cakewalk, a walkover, and it would be all over in 48 hours. 48 hours, my foot. It's over 150 days. It's getting on to 6 months. It's getting on to 6 months of non-stop war, and the war is still on. And the beauty is that Iran is hitting back hard. The longer the war lasts, the harder he is hitting back. And all Hexet's claims, all Donald Trump's claim, we've destroyed their air force, they destroyed their navy, 90% missiles destroyed, I don't know how many percentage of the drones destroyed. And look at him, Iran is hitting back as hard as possible with their missiles, with their drones. And if anything, the lethality, the accuracy of the strikes, missile and drone strikes, has only increased. Donald Trump tried his second offensive. I don't know who in his military establishment convinced him that give us some time more and we will deliver what we failed to deliver in 40 days, we'll do in 13 days. Simple question, how? We will take back control of the Straits of Hormuz. Simple question, how? How are you going to take back control of the Gulf of Hormuz? Sir, the simple fact is that geography favors Iran. The entire northern coast of the Gulf is Iran's coastline, which is not got sandy shores. It has got cliffs with caves, with tunnels where the missiles can be hidden. He is not only firing from the caves and tunnels on the coastline, he is firing from a 200-kilometer arc which goes inshore. So, from the pattern of bombing of the Americans, it was evident that they were planning to do some military boots on the ground operation. Let me give you one simple fact. When America attacked Iraq in 1991, Gulf War I, how many boots on the ground did they put? 750,000, 7.5 lakh. Alright? Iraq is 4 times smaller than Iran. It is flat desert terrain. Iraq is all mountains. Every inch of it is defensible. Zagros, Elburz, coastal ranges. It's one of the most mountainous countries in the world. You expect to conquer that country with 20,000, Marines, about 5,000 Marines, 10,000 paratroopers, 4,000 to 5,000 special forces. You expect to clear the entire northern coastline? I mean, look, we are also military men, so don't teach us. We've also spent 37 years in combat areas and the battlefields. It can't be done. Any soldier with an iota of common sense would tell you that you would need 1 million troops to conquer Iran. 1 million troops. Does America have them? No. N-O, no. You can't even, unless you do conscription, America can't raise that army, and it can't raise that overnight, train it and get it ready to fight. Okay? You don't have adequate boots on the ground. You don't have the ability to put those boots on the ground. So what are we talking about?
Indeed, a very sharp analysis by Major General G.D. Bakshi and his point of view on the whole war. But shifting our focus to German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, who's facing mounting political pressure after the controversial cabinet reshuffle triggered discontent within his own party. Now, with opinion polls also showing his conservatives trailing the far-right alternative for Germany ahead of the crucial state election, the leadership shake-up has raised fresh questions over the stability of his government. Take a look.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz is under growing pressure after a cabinet reshuffle sparked criticism within his own conservative alliance.
Alle Personalentscheidungen, die ich Ihnen heute mitteilen kann, ordnen sich dieser Prämisse unter, nämlich weiter das Beste für unser Land zu wollen und zu erreichen. Die Personalveränderungen folgen einer klaren Vorgabe. Wir wollen eine Regierung, die inhaltlich mit größtem Elan und mit Freude arbeitet und dabei die personelle Vielfalt unserer Gesellschaft und der Politik auch repräsentiert. Wir sind eine Reformregierung und wir wollen das auch weiter.
The reshuffle followed the resignation of senior CDU leader, prompting Merz to appoint his chief of staff as parliamentary faction leader. But the decisions have angered sections of his own party, with conservative leaders openly criticizing the Chancellor after Transport Minister Patrick was dropped. The turmoil comes at a difficult time for Merz, whose government is battling falling popularity and the rapid rise of the far-right alternative for Germany. According to the latest opinion polls, the AfD has overtaken the Conservatives nationally, while only 15% of the respondents expressed satisfaction with Merz's performance as Chancellor. Despite the backlash, Merz says the reshuffle is not over and more ministerial changes are likely in the coming weeks.
Es wird weitere Veränderungen im Bundeskabinett geben. Darüber werde ich zu gegebener Zeit Sie informieren, aber diese Entscheidungen brauchen nicht zuletzt angesichts der Sommerpause noch ein paar Tage und vielleicht auch mehr Zeit. Das entscheide ich aber ohne Zeitdruck und mit der gebotenen Sorgfalt und den Gesprächen, die dazu.
With crucial state elections due in September, the reshuffle has become an early political test for Merz, as he seeks to steady his government, reunite his party and prevent further gains by the far-right AfD.
You're watching live this morning on Republic TV. My name is Nan. We're heading into a short commercial break. There's a world of news waiting for you on the other side. Boxer Arundhati Chaudhary advances to semi-finals. India assured of another medal in Commonwealth Games after a short break.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है? आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट? स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
डॉक्टर रोमा, मैनुअल वाइंडिंग, 4 लोगों के पास है ये।
कुछ इससे भी अनोखा?
कमला पसंद, सिर्फ एक अनोखा स्वाद। कमला पसंद पान मसाला।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
All right, viewers, we're getting another breaking news of the hour right now. This is coming from the Federal Reserve, which has held its interest rate steady. Now, this is a breaking news of the hour that the United States has gone on to make sure that the Federal Reserve keeps its rates unchanged. Now, they are unchanged at 3.50 to between 3.75. Now, this decision was not unanimous. There were 3 regional federal presidents who wanted to raise the rates instead, but it was actually Kevin Warsh who described the disagreement as a good family fight, meaning that the healthy internal debate, which actually led to not a very unanimous decision. Now, the markets have rather reacted very, very negatively to it. The investors are disappointed. The Dow Jones Industrial Average has fallen more than 1,500 points. So this is the breaking news of the hour. The Federal Reserve rates are keeping as unchanged. The rates remain unchanged. The market has reacted negatively, and there has also been a surge in the oil price. So when I say that I mean the oil prices have jumped to more than 6%, while the chip stocks also continue to fall. I have my colleague Rishita joining from the newsroom right now. Rishita, hi, welcome to Live This Morning. Now, my question to you is, if the Fed is keeping the interest rate unchanged, why did the stock market crash so sharply?
Right, absolutely. So as we know that the results have come and the interest rates have been stood steady. Now, there had been apprehensions because they wanted to bring down inflation by the 2% target. But since everything has been on hold, despite Donald Trump's calls for a cut and some predictions that the policymakers wanted the decision to respond to the inflation with a hike, and since that hasn't happened, the 3.5% and 3.75% rate has remained. So the markets have reacted quite drastically. To give you a sense in the terms of figures, Dow Jones and S&P had fallen, sort of crashed overnight. Dow Jones was down by 1150 points. S&P slid by 1% as well. Nasdaq Composite also slid down by 1%, then eventually rose slightly. Additionally, we can also talk about the Asian markets. They have also opened mixed today as a result of the fear of rise of oil prices and also the fact that the rates have remained steady. There has been no change, and it also needs to be noted that the policy decision was approved by a 9-3 vote, with 3 of the Fed officials that have supported a 25 basis point rate hike. So the Fed said that the US economy continues to grow at a slow pace despite uncertainty caused in part by the conflict in the Middle East. And policymakers are also saying that productivity growth and capital investment have remained strong, showing that economic activity is holding up well. Now, the central bank has said that the labor market has remained healthy with job growth keeping pace with the workforce and unemployment staying broadly stable. But the way the markets have reacted have been quite drastic. Additionally, even the GIFT Nifty has had a muted beginning. It is trading in the red, and we'd have to look at the Indian markets as they open at 9:15, how they react to this particular change.
Right.
Back to you. Yeah.
Right, Ruchita, thank you for giving us those updates. I hope this is not just a one-day picnic, a one-day panic, but rather something that is going to correct the market in eventual course of time. Right now, shipping into a short commercial break. Coming up, Lok Sabha to table Vande Mataram bill today, bill to criminalize insult to the national song.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला डिलीशियस हेल्दी every day.
I wake up wearing someone else again. Skin tight like porcelain. I don't recognize these eyes. Something scratching from inside. Don't let it slip. I'm losing control. I don't wanna be safe anymore. Underneath there's a fire they can't keep. No more faces
finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाई जीरा से MTH का जल जीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा.
כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות. כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות וגם לתאם. סיימתי עכשיו פגישה מצוינת עם הנשיא טראמפ. כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית, עם הבנה על היעד המשותף להבטיח שלאיראן לא יהיה נשק גרעיני וגם יעדים אחרים. אחת השיחות הטובות ביותר שקיימתי עם נשיא ארצות הברית, ידידנו דונלד טראמפ. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות וגם לתאם תאומים שהם חשובים לביטחון ולעתיד של מדינת ישראל.
It was a truly monumental moment in Senate. And of course, he was also a great champion of the United States Supreme Court. His impassioned defense of a wonderful person, a great gentleman, Justice Kavanaugh, ended a disgraceful attack on this very good man and gave us one of the greatest moments the Senate has ever seen. It was a truly monumental moment in Senate history. I believe it was Lindsey's perhaps finest hour. Destroyed their military. They want to meet, and we're meeting. We'll see what happens. There's a chance we could make a deal. And nobody tells me what we should be selling or not. Turkey's been a tremendous ally for me. Now, look, Turkey's been a great ally for me. You know, I think he's done a very good job. Did a good job with Syria. He's a friend of mine, and nobody tells me what we should be selling or not. Turkey's been a tremendous ally for me. It was up to Turkey. Turkey's not a big fan of Israel. You know that, right? And not a big fan of Bibi. But they've been great for me. Turkey has been great. Very powerful country, by the way. Tremendous military. Very big military. Very powerful military. Has a lot of great equipment.
Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
A very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching Republic TV. This is Shivam Dutt Mehta, and the top focus stories include today the massacre which is happening in POK. We'll get you all the latest updates on this story because many of them have been killed. Peaceful protesters were shot at. We'll bring you this story. We'll get you all the details of this story. And also, the top story that we are tracking today is the India shining at the Commonwealth Games because we are winning one medal after the other. And the total tally of the medals has also increased, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have the medal tally which has reached to 15 medals in the Commonwealth Games. And India is shining in the Commonwealth Games. We'll get you all the details of this story too and a lot more, but first up let's have a look at the top headlines of the hour.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Dilip Gavit secures third gold. Mohammad Basil clinches silver in 100-meter T47 final. Murli Srishankar clinches second silver in high jump final. Boxer Arundhati Chaudhary advances to semi-finals. India showed off another medal in Commonwealth Games. After Lok Sabha passed the anti-paper leak bill, it moves to the Rajya Sabha for voting today. Lok Sabha to table Vande Mataram bill today. Bill to criminalize insults to national song Vande Mataram. And over 40 civilians killed in POK during heavy crackdown. Protest wave reaches Islamabad. All right, viewers, let's begin with the first top story that we are tracking. The Public Examination Prevention of Unfair Means Amendment Bill, the Anti-Paper Leak Bill 2026, was passed in the Lok Sabha on Wednesday by a voice vote. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led government said that the legislation reflects its willingness to strengthen the safeguards against examination malpractice based on past experience. Now the bill now awaits approval in the Rajya Sabha. So it's a crucial day for the bill in Rajya Sabha. It has to be passed in the Rajya Sabha to be made into a law, to be made into an act. This is that's very important because this is the exam reforms bill which will be in Rajya Sabha today. All right, Shambhavi is joining us from the Rajya Sabha with all the latest updates. Shambhavi is tracking all the developments from Parliament today. Shambhavi, yesterday there was ruckus, but there was debate. There was the opposition shifting the goalpost, bringing in various allegations not related to the bill. They were not discussing on the bill, but it got passed. Now today it's very important that the bill will be introduced in the Rajya Sabha and they will be voting in Rajya Sabha if the opposition cooperates. Over to you for all the latest developments, Shambhavi.
Definitely, Shivam. From what we know, the last week was a washout at Parliament, and there were two, although there were several walkouts which was organized by the opposition, and even in Rajya Sabha, while the National Honour Bill, Amendment Bill was being tabled and was being discussed, even after repeated attempts by the Prime Minister, by several ministers of the central government, they have tried to appeal to the opposition to kindly discuss, because this NEET controversy, this paper leak controversy was one of the main things, or you can say that took the center stage in this entire Parliament session till now, because there has been several discussions which was tabled by the government as well, by the central government as well, that asking the opposition to come participate in the legislative process now that something like this has happened. But the opposition was constantly asking for accountability and justice for the students. But finally, the Lok Sabha has passed the bill, the anti-paper leak bill. And this paper leak bill, according to the central government, it will have more stringent and stricter penalties and fines. It will have a more enhanced investigative mechanism if something like this unfortunately happens. And it also have fast-track courts. So this has come amid all the protests, amid all the backlash coming from the opposition regarding this entire NEET paper leak situation. And now that it has finally been passed by the Lok Sabha, it will now be tabled in the Rajya Sabha for it to pass and become an act.
Yeah, definitely, because various strict measures are in place if this bill is passed, and also a very important high-powered committee which has been formed by the Prime Minister in this regards, which includes Nandan Nilekhani. Stay with us, Shambhavi. We have another important bill in the Parliament that we'll be focusing on, and this is the Vande Mataram bill. Officially, the Prevention of Insults to National Honour Amendment Bill 2026 was passed by the Rajya Sabha on July 29, 2026. yesterday and is scheduled to be taken up in the Lok Sabha. Now this is also very important because the opposition and various groups were against this bill and against all the stanzas that were the original version of the Vande Mataram song, which is in place, and because of the opposition also and the way certain state governments were behaving regarding the playing of the Vande Mataram and the full version of it. Now this is in Rajya Sabha, passed in Rajya Sabha, and this will be taken up in the Lok Sabha. So this is very crucial because this is regarding the national song, and this is the Vande Mataram song which has to be played in full with all the stanzas, and this will be also debated in Lok Sabha. So let's go across to Shambhavi, who's tracking all the developments from the Parliament, from both houses of the Parliament. Now Shambhavi, as you saw earlier also, various state governments, opposition of the opposition parties, and also various groups were against the Vande Mataram bill and this becoming an act. Now what can we expect today when it comes to the Lok Sabha?
Well, yes, another very important bill that was tabled in the Rajya Sabha by the central government. It aimed at particularly categorizing certain acts and insults which are aimed at Vande Mataram to be considered as a criminal offence. And that is exactly what this bill is aiming. Although there was a walkout which was organized by the opposition yesterday from Rajya Sabha because this bill became politically contentious given that the opposition was questioning the government's priorities. Although parallelly, of course, this anti-paper leak bill was being tabled in the Lok Sabha, and there have been constant requests made from the centers or from the union side asking the opposition to kindly cooperate and be a part of this entire discussion. But several allegations were made from the opposition side even while this bill was being tabled, asking accountability from Amit Shah, from the Home Minister, on the actions that were taken on the protesters at the CJP protests, which went on for more than a month. And this was a staged walkout which was organized by the opposition in the Rajya Sabha while this was being tabled. But again, it was successfully passed. This legislation was passed by the Rajya Sabha and will now be tabled in Lok Sabha. Shivam.
Definitely. Thanks a lot for all the updates. Keep a track of all the developments. We'll come back to you as more details emerge. All right, viewers, let's move across to another big breaking news development that we are tracking. The Joint Awami Action Committee has now confirmed that over 40 innocent civilians were killed in last 3 days in POK. Now, the group stated that Pakistani forces opened fire on peaceful protesters demanding basic rights, leaving hundreds injured, imposing communication blackouts and continuing a brutal crackdown. Meanwhile, according to the protesters, 80% people of POK have rejected elections and Pakistan. This is POK rejects Pakistan. POK rejects Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen. 90% of the people in POK are with the Joint Awami Action Committee. They added that Pakistan military regime doesn't want talks but only bullets and brutality against the civilians. So the death toll has risen, ladies and gentlemen. But the brave protesters are facing all odds, are fighting against the brutal terrorist regime of Pakistan, the terrorist army of Pakistan. All right, Gursimran is live with us with all the latest updates. Let's go across to Gursimran for all the latest updates because Gursimran has been tracking all the developments since day one. Gursimran, first of all, it's very sad because POK is part of India and these are our people dying across the border because of the occupation of Pakistan. But they are brave, they are fighting. Even after many deaths, they have continued their protest. They want to continue their long march. But if you can highlight the level of police brutality, the Rangers brutality and the army brutality by the terrorist regime of Pakistan, which has killed more than 40. And I believe that the numbers might be more because many of them might have not been reported.
Yes, if we speak of the casualty count that has surpassed the 40 mark that has been confirmed by the Joint Awami Action Committee leader Umar Nazir Kashmiri. He has said that more than 40 people have been killed in the ongoing agitation that has started on 27th of July, the same day when the elections, farce elections that Pakistan was planning to hold in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, that fell flat, and the people of POJK completely rejected on the call of the Joint Awami Action Committee. Now coming to the atrocities that are being committed from the D Chowk in Rawalakot, the long march has not moved further because day before yesterday we have seen that the 16 people were killed by the Pakistan in the brutal shelling, brute use of force that they have done, and many of them were close relatives, including the brother of Umar Nazir Kashmiri. Usman Nazir Kashmiri was also killed, and there were some rituals that had to be performed, and that's why the leadership of the Joint Awami Action Committee could not move from D Chowk. Last night also we have seen that the shelling has taken place on the JAC workers in the D Chowk area, in which there have been several casualties that have been reported that have taken the number from 34 to 40 overnight. There have been casualties that are non-fatal in nature but are presently being treated at the different medical facilities. Today we are told that this long march will once again proceed towards Muzaffarabad, though it is very unlikely that they will be allowed to move because the way Pakistan has fortified the entire area of the Rawalakot to Muzaffarabad, and also the trenches that they have digged there. These trenches are also to stop the vehicle movement towards Muzaffarabad, which clearly shows that Pakistan want to disrupt this long march at any given cost, and that is what we have seen. Also, the statements that have come from the leadership of the Pakistani federal government, including that of the Defense Minister of Pakistan, Khwaja Asif, in which he has said that they consider the people of POJK as enemy. On the lines, they consider India as enemy. So it is very clear that they are going to go tough against the protesters, but when it comes to the Joint Awami Action Committee, they are firm on their stand that despite many of the sacrifices which they have made and which they know are to be made in days to come, they will continue their agitation. They have written to the world bodies and also have requested people from different parts of the world to come and stand in solidarity and also to put pressure on the Shahbaz Sharif government.
Yeah, all right, Goswami, stay with us. There's a big expose. Pakistan has done a self-goal. They've exposed themselves. We're getting a reaction from Rana Sanaullah, who's Pakistan's PM's special assistant on political affairs. Let's listen into what exactly he has said.
ये वहाँ पे वही लोग हैं जिनको जिस तरह से कभी हमने ये मुजाहिदीन को ट्रेन किया था और भेजा था कि जाओ लड़ो, और उसके बाद वो आज तक हमारे गले पड़े हुए हैं। ये भी कुछ ऐसे ही लोग हैं और उन तंजीमों के लोग वहाँ पे इकट्ठे हैं और उनके पास असला है और वो वहाँ पे कोई सियासी मुतालबा नहीं है, कोई उनका पब्लिक वेलफेयर का मामला नहीं है। वो लोगों को शील्ड बना के तो वहाँ पे जो है ये जो है वो खेल खेलना चाहते हैं। ये वहाँ पे वही लोग हैं जिनको जिस तरह से कभी हमने ये मुजाहिदीन को ट्रेन किया था और भेजा था कि जाओ लड़ो, और उसके बाद वो आज तक हमारे गले पड़े हुए हैं। ये भी कुछ ऐसे ही लोग हैं और उन तंजीमों के लोग वहाँ पे इकट्ठे हैं और उनके पास असला है।
All right, so this is Rana Sanaullah, who has exposed Pakistan. Now, Indian embassy in US has also slammed a US media report over Pakistani Kashmir headline. Now, India calls out misleading and incorrect the headline, and India reiterates Pak's illegal occupation of the parts of Kashmir. Now, India has blasted the media report and reiterated that Pak has illegally occupied POK. This is the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir region. And there was a misleading headline in a famous US report. And after that, Indian embassy has slammed the US report and called it misleading and incorrect headline. All right, so this is the Chandrakala joins us live with all the latest updates. Now, Chandrakala, coming to you, because there's a section, there is a lobby, you can call it a deep state also, because this section, this lobby always have anti-India sentiments. They report against India and they take the side of Pakistan. And this time, India has once again slammed this media report. But over to you for all the latest updates on that.
Yes, as we know that, of course, the POK has been now witnessing a massive protest since last month. Now, what we are learning is that the Indian embassy in US has objected to one of the report being published by New York Times, one of the leading newspaper in US, of course, on Islamabad's crackdown on protests in Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Now, the Indian embassy in US has criticized the phrasing of illegally occupied Indian territory as Pakistani Kashmir in the headline of the US media report, calling it misleading and incorrect. The objection is to the terminology came after the New York-based newspaper carried a report citing with the headline clashes erupt in Pakistani Kashmir as voting in local election begins, referring to violence in POK during local elections. Now the U.S. embassy the Indian embassy in US has put out a statement calling it misleading and incorrect. Headline by New York Times, there is no Pakistani Kashmir, but only Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. The embassy has said the union territories, it has once again reiterated the union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh have been, and Ladakh have been, are, and always remain an integral part and inalienable part of India. Pakistan has illegally occupied part of these territories and is now using violence against the occupied people. This is what we are learning. This is the statement being put out by the Indian embassy in
Chandrakala,
US.
it was very important message to all that propaganda that is happening because of the foreign media outlets who have this anti-India sentiment and this pro-Pak sentiment. So the message has been sent and the message will be well received. Thanks a lot for all the updates on this story. All right, viewers, let's move on to another top story. The political battle in Patna's Bankipur Assembly constituency is set for a crucial test today. Around 380,000 voters will decide the fate of 26 candidates, including poll strategist turned politician Prashant Kishore, who is making his electoral debut. The by-poll was triggered after BJP's Nitin Nabin vacated the seat following his election to the Rajya Sabha. While the BJP is defending a seat it has held since 1995, Kishore's entry has added a new dimension to the contest. Take a look.
A high-profile contest in the heart of Bihar's capital. Bankipur Assembly constituency is witnessing a by-poll political battle, with Jan Suraj Party chief Prashant Kishore entering the electoral arena for the first time. The former poll strategist is taking on BJP candidate Neeraj Kumar Sinha and RJD's Rekha Gupta. For the BJP, the stakes are high. The party has not lost the seat since 1995, when it was known as Patna West. The seat, however, presents a unique political landscape. Local issues have taken center stage during campaigning, with the recent student protest over the NEET paper leak becoming a major poll talking point. Both Prashant Kishore and RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav had targeted the state government over police action against protesters. With polling day coinciding with the Pratirod Divas called by student groups, authorities are keeping a close watch on the situation. But the administration expects a peaceful election as Bankipur has no major history of poll violence. In the last assembly election, while Bihar recorded over 65% turnout, Bankipur saw only 41.35% voting. Now the question remains, will Prashant Kishore's debut challenge the BJP's long-standing dominance, or will Bankipur once again remain a saffron stronghold? With 26 candidates in the fray and an urban electorate holding the key, all eyes are now on Bankipur as Bihar witnesses another high-stakes electoral battle.
All right, viewers, now let's move on to another big breaking news development that we are getting now. Addressing the CRPF's grand investiture ceremony in Delhi, this is the CRPF Director General Gyanendra Pratap Singh, who has urged personnel to perform their duties without fear and in the national interest, assuring full backing to operational and law and order units. He said he would take complete responsibility for all bona fide decisions and actions taken in the discharge of the duty. This is the CRPF DG. He says that act fearlessly in national interest without fear. Act fearlessly in national interest, and I will take full responsibility for all decisions and actions taken in the discharge of the duty. So The soldier on the field, the warrior on the field doesn't need to worry, because this is the CRPF DG who is saying that you have to act fearlessly and in national interest. You have to do your duty, and I will take all the responsibility for all the decisions and actions taken in the discharge of duty. Let's listen in.
मैं बल के महानिदेशक, बल के प्रमुख के रूप में आप सभी को यह विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं, चाहे हमारी ऑपरेशनल बटालियंस हों, चाहे हमारी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की यूनिट्स हों, आप सभी राष्ट्रहित में, जनहित में, बल हित में जो भी निर्णय लेते हैं, जो भी एक्शन लेते हैं, जो कि बोनाफाइड डिस्चार्ज ऑफ ड्यूटी में है, उन सभी निर्णयों का और उन सभी एक्शंस का संपूर्ण रूप से बल के प्रमुख के रूप में दायित्व मेरा है। आप अपना काम निर्भय होकर करते रहें। जहां भी जो भी दायित्व लेना होगा वह संपूर्ण रूप से मैं महानिदेशक के तौर पर लूंगा। इस चीज को मैं आज फिर आप सभी के सामने दोहराना चाहता हूं।
All right, viewers, now 2 weeks after Republic's investigation into foreign funding and alleged misuse of the FCRA registered organizations, the Foreign Contribution Regulation Amendment Bill is expected to be tabled in the Parliament next week. The proposed legislation seeks to tighten scrutiny of foreign contributions, introduce a new framework for managing assets of organizations whose registrations are cancelled or surrendered, and plug legal and administrative gaps. As the bill heads for debate, political temperatures are expected to rise. Take a look.
2 weeks after Republic's investigation into foreign funding, the Foreign Contribution Regulation Amendment Bill is now expected to be tabled in Parliament next week. The proposed legislation is among the key bills lined up for discussion during the monsoon session. The bill is expected to be tabled after repeated hurdles due to the CJP protest. The bill proposes a new framework for managing foreign contributions and assets of organizations whose FCRA registrations are cancelled, surrendered, or cease to exist. According to the government, the amendments aim to plug administrative and legal gaps, strengthen transparency, and tighten security of foreign funding. The proposed changes also seek stronger oversight of foreign contributions, with the government maintaining that the objective is greater accountability and compliance under the FCRA framework. The opposition, however, has raised concerns that the amendments could expand government powers and impact the functioning and assets of charitable organizations. As the bill prepares to enter Parliament, political confrontation is expected to intensify. The government and opposition is likely to sharply differ over the future of Foreign Funding Regulations Act. But this also raises question on why is the opposition resisting the FCRA amendment? Is the concern about civil society or about tighter scrutiny of foreign funds? After Republic's investigation brought the misuse of foreign funding into the spotlight, all eyes are now on Parliament, where the FCRA amendment bill is expected to trigger one of the biggest debates of the monsoon session.
All right, viewers, now let's move on to another top story that we are tracking. India's medal tally at the Commonwealth Games is gathering momentum. This is boxer Arundhati Chaudhary, who has stormed into the women's 70kg semi-finals after defeating New Zealand's Morgan Henderson, assuring India of another medal. And the success isn't just limited to the boxing ring. India has already delivered podium finishes across weightlifting, athletics, para-athletics and para-powerlifting as the contingent looks to climb further up the medal table. Watch this report.
Another medal assured for India at the Commonwealth Games after boxer Arundhati Chaudhary is through to the women's 70 kg semi-finals. The Indian boxer defeated New Zealand's Morgan Henderson to seal her place in the last four and guarantee a podium finish.
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, स्पेशली
मैं मेरी जीत को मेरे छोटे भाई को डेडिकेट करना चाहूँगी और आज आसान तो नहीं था बट अच्छा रिजल्ट आया। हाँ बिल्कुल, यहाँ पे आए तो इसीलिए है कि गोल्ड लेना है, ये तो बस एक सीढ़ी थी। मेहनत इतनी करी है ना, हार्डवर्क बहुत था, तो पता था कि जो भी बाउट में जाऊंगी खेलने जीत के जरूर आऊंगी।
The semi-final berth assures Arundhati a medal, but for Indian boxer, the target remains the top of the podium. And Arundhati isn't alone. India has now assured itself of at least 9 medals in boxing, with a string of Indian fighters reaching the semi-finals in Glasgow. Away from the ring too, India's athletes have been adding to the medal haul, from weightlifting and para-powerlifting to athletics and para-athletics. Mirabai Chanu has already struck gold in weightlifting, completing a hat-trick of Commonwealth Games titles, while Sharmila Dhankar won gold in the women's F57 shot put. Gulveer Singh then scripted history with silver in the men's 10,000 meters, becoming the first Indian to win a Commonwealth Games medal in the event. Harjinder Kaur added another silver in weightlifting, taking India's tally to 12 medals, with more already assured from the boxing ring. And India's boxers are now looking to turn those assured podium finishes into gold. Arundhati's coach Khimanand Belwal says the team is fully prepared for the remaining bouts and is looking to upgrade the color of the medals.
अभी सेमीफाइनल्स हैं, एक बाउट हमारी और है, अभी अब मेंस की शुरू होने वाली हैं, 2-3 बाउट हैं, कोशिश करेंगे सारे के सारे आज जीते, होप सारे मेडल आए हमारे। तो मेडल का रंग बदलना रह गया? यस ऑफ कोर्स, वही है एम, सारे के सारे हम तो ट्राई करेंगे गोल्ड मेडल आए हमारे। और फाइट काफ़ी टफ थी, आने वाली फाइटें भी काफ़ी टफ होने जा रही हैं। हाँ ऑफ कोर्स, हम पूरी तैयारी से हैं और अपोनेंट भी टफ है, उसको इजी नहीं ले सकते हम लोग, अच्छा मुकाबला है, बहुत बड़ा मुकाबला।
From the boxing ring to the athletics track and the weightlifting platform, India's Commonwealth Games campaign is gathering pace. And with Arundhati already assured of a podium finish, the next target is clear: upgrade the medal and bring home gold.
All right, viewers, it's time to slip into a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere, because coming up next, after Lok Sabha passed the anti-paper leak bill, it is now in the Rajya Sabha today for voting. Coming up next, all details on this exam reforms bill in Rajya Sabha. Crucial voting today.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ, 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
बेस्ट हरा बोर्ड दिखाना। सबसे डिपेंडेबल सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस। ट्रायल लूंगा। श्योर। वाटर रेजिस्टेंट है, स्ट्रॉन्ग है, high density wood fiber structure, advanced German adhesive bonding, solid defense. ट्रायल में पास। सेंचुरी के 40 सालों का भरोसा, हरे बोर्ड का असली बॉस, सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है? आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट, स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है, स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
地震発生直後 RKK 報道フロアでは大きな
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Dilip Gavit secures third gold. Mohammad Basil clinches silver in 100-meter T47 final. Murali Srishankar clinches second silver in high jump final. Boxer Arundhati Chaudhary advances to semi-finals. India assured of another medal in Commonwealth Games. After Lok Sabha passed the anti-paper league bill, it moves to the Rajya Sabha for voting today. Lok Sabha to table Vande Mataram bill today, bill to criminalize insults to national songs. Over 40 civilians killed in POK during heavy crackdown. Protest wave reaches Islamabad. All right, viewers, let's begin this bulletin with the big breaking news development. Let's take a track of the markets right now, the Indian markets. Now, Indian markets open muted, ladies and gentlemen, and Nifty is down 0.65 points and Sensex slips 15 points. This is the banking, media, realty, which are in red. The IT Pharma opened with gains, and Infi and Tech Mahindra lead gainers at open. Asian Paint, Eternal, Indigo slip into the red. War jitters rattle Asian markets, and HSI Shanghai slip and Nikkei bucks the trend. All right, Ishita is joining us live with all the latest updates when it comes to the market development, and especially how are the markets reacting today? Ishita, if you can give us a picture of what exactly is causing the rise and the fall, and which stocks are in focus today, and also you can do a comparative analysis with the global markets and the Indian market.
Right, sir, right. So the Indian stock market indices have opened muted today. NSE was at 24,249.55 points, which is down by 0.65 points, while Sensex was at 77,638 points, roughly down by 15 points as well. Now, this has happened because in terms of the broader sectoral indices, most of them have been trading in red, particularly if we talk about media, banking, realty, they all opened in red. However, IT, pharma have opened in green. IT has been consistently performing well, particularly because of stocks like Infosys and Tech Mahindra that gained 1% right at the very opening. On the other hand, Asian Paints, Adani Ports, Eternal, Indigo and ICICI Bank shares have fallen at the opening. Now, this has been particularly because of the weaker global cues as well, as we all know that the Wall Street had crashed overnight. Additionally, even the Asian markets had opened mixed. Japan's Nikkei, for instance, had slipped 0.25% at the opening, but it quickly pared its losses and traded to 1.5% higher along the day. While Hang Seng was up 2% in early trade, Corpsi had gained 0.89%, ASX was 0.26% lower. Now, there are a lot of factors affecting this, particularly as war tensions continue to escalate and the crude prices continue to escalate as well. Back to you.
All right, Rishita, thanks a lot for all the updates. Keep a track of all the developments. We'll come back to you later with more updates from the market, Rishita. All right, now let's move ahead to another top story that we are tracking. This is about the genocide in POK. The Joint Awami Action Committee has now confirmed, ladies and gentlemen, that over 40 innocent civilians, I repeat, 40 innocent civilians were killed in the last 3 days. And the numbers might be more because many can be missing. That's the way how the Pakistani brutal regime operates. And the group that is protesting has stated that Pakistani forces had opened fire on peaceful protesters who were merely demanding basic rights, leaving hundreds injured and imposing communication blackouts and continuing a brutal crackdown. Meanwhile, according to the protesters, 80% people of POK have rejected elections, and Pakistan too. And 90% of people in POK are with the Joint Awami Action Committee. They added that Pakistan military regime doesn't want talks but only bullets and brutality against the civilians. There are many visuals which have surfaced, and we are trying to show you all the visuals of the brutality of the Pakistani government, of the Pakistani military, the brutal terrorist military of Pakistan, who are shooting at innocent protesters. There are live rounds being fired against the protesters, and that's the kind of crackdown. They are beating them brutally. They're beating children. They're killing innocent women and children also. Now let's move on to another top breaking news development that we are getting at the moment. A police raid late Tuesday night in the Mohammad Bazar area of Birbhum has resulted in the seizure of crores in cash and a large quantity of gold from the home of a government bus driver. Now, West Bengal Chief Minister Shuvendu Adhikari, speaking about the raid on Wednesday, said that approximately 15 kilograms of gold was recovered from the home. Now, police surrounded Minar Mandal's home in the Devcha area of Mohammad Bazar and launched a search operation. So, a staggering, whopping amount of cash which has been recovered, gold which has been recovered. This is the stone mafia which was active, highly active during the previous government in West Bengal, during the TMC government. 28.5 crore rupees merely cash. Just cash has been recovered, and imagine the 15 kilograms of gold which has been recovered, and these are the visuals of the crackdown on the stone mafia, the raids which happened, visuals coming in from Birbhum, Bengal. Massive crackdown which happened in West Bengal, in Birbhum. All right, viewers, now let's move on to another top story that we are tracking. While large parts of Assam continue to battle devastating floods, India's star sprinter Hima Das has stepped off the track and onto the ground to help those in need, visiting flood-hit villages, interacting with affected families and distributing relief material. The athlete is leading by example. Here's a report.
Extending support to families affected by the devastating floods. The Commonwealth Games medalist visited waterlogged areas, witnessing the scale of destruction and interacting with residents on the ground. As floodwaters continue to impact normal life across several districts, relief operations remain underway with the support of authorities and volunteers. Hima Das's on-ground efforts have drawn praise, with many hailing her for standing with flood victims beyond sporting arena. At a time when Assam continues its battle against rising waters, the athlete's humanitarian gesture has emerged as a powerful example of service and solidarity.
All right, viewers, let's move on to another top story that we are tracking. India enjoyed another productive day by adding 3 more medals, including a gold and 2 silvers to its tally. In the 100-meter T47 event, Dilip Gavit secures India's 3rd gold at Commonwealth Games, while Mohammad Basil clinches silver in men's 100-meter T47 final. Murali Srishankar clinches 2nd silver in men's high jump final. After these 3 medals, India has a total tally of 15 medals, 3 golds, 9 silvers and 3 bronze.
हाँ, पहले स्टार्ट थोड़ा ये स्लो हो गया, बाद में थोड़ा ये स्पीड होने लगा. अच्छा, और अच्छा करेंगे. मेरे को 100 मीटर दौड़ना था. मैं पहले 400 करता हूँ. 400 मेन इवेंट है मेरा, तो इधर 100 मीटर दौड़ना था, इसलिए मुझे अच्छा लगा रेस. मैं ये प्यारा में इधर गोल्ड मेडल है, तो हम इंडिया वाले को भी थोड़ा मेहनत करनी है और हमारे देश का झंडा ऊंचा ले रहना है.
It is my first medal, first international medal. I'm so happy. Last year I started para sports. I'm so happy. Before start, I थोड़ा tight हो गया. It is about climate. I ran last month 10.63. That was an Asia report. I'm so disappointed with that time. I have no problem. It is my first medal, first international medal. I'm so happy. Last year I started para sports. I'm so happy. Before start, आई नो थोड़ा टाइट हो गया. It is about climate. Iran last month 1063. That was an Asia report. I'm so disappointed with that time. I have no problem.
All right, viewers, now para powerlifter Jhandu Kumar has made India proud by securing the bronze medal in the men's heavyweight event at the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games. The powerlifter, while speaking to Republic, shared his experience on how the whole win was a proud moment after raising the Indian flag at the Commonwealth Games. Let's take a listen into the story.
The para powerlifter who contracted polio when he was 4 years old lifted 190 kg to win a bronze medal at Commonwealth Games, a feat he hopes will define him rather than his name. Jhandu Kumar joins us now. Thank you so much, Jhandu Kumar जी, हमसे बात करने के लिए. वो मोमेंट जब आपको पता चला कि ये जो आपने रिकॉर्ड बनाया है, ये ब्रॉन्ज मेडल अब आपका हुआ, कितनी खुशी हुई उस पल, उस लिफ्ट में?
नमस्ते मैम, मेरा नाम झंडू कुमार, पैरा पावर लिफ्टर. हम बिहार से बिलोंग करते हैं, नालंदा हरनौल. उस समय जब हमारा नाम का जब मेडल पता चला कि हमारा नाम का मेडल हो गया है, तो एक अलग मतलब कि बॉडी में ऊर्जा आ गया था. मतलब इतना खुशी था कि मतलब बता भी नहीं सकते कि कितना खुशी था उसमें.
झंडू कुमार जी, बहुत मुश्किलों का सामना करना पड़ा, इंक्लूडिंग पोलियो, और ऐसी कई घटनाएं आपके जीवन में घटित हुई जो कि अच्छे अच्छे लोगों का जो मनोबल है वो तोड़ देती हैं. आपने उन सब चीज़ों को पीछे रखा, आगे बढ़े, यहाँ तक इस जर्नी में, इस सफ़र में आप इतने कामयाब हुए. हमें उन सब के बारे में बताइए.
देखो, 5 साल की उम्र में हमें पोलियो हो गया था. तो पोलियो मतलब कि देखा जाए कि उस समय हम 5 साल की उम्र में थे तो कुछ तो पता नहीं. तो हमने धीरे धीरे मतलब कि बड़े हुए और मम्मी पापा का हाथ बटाने लगे. सब्जी मार्केट में सब्जी का दुकान था हमारा फुटपाथ पे. तो वहाँ दुकान हम मतलब मम्मी का पापा करते थे, तो वहाँ पर बैठ के हम भी हेल्प करते थे. धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे हम बड़े होते गए और थोड़ा तकलीफ भी बढ़ते गया, हमारा घर का स्थिति भी थोड़ा खराब था. खुद से भी हम अपना बिजनेस किए थे. उसके बाद जब स्थिति ज़्यादा खराब हो गया, जब हमने अपना ये ट्रेनिंग स्टार्ट किए थे हमने बॉडी बिल्डिंग का, तो हमने अपना खुद से बिजनेस स्टार्ट कर दिए थे कि डाइट का पैसा तो उतना खर्च तो उठाएंगे नहीं. कोई 300-400 रुपया का डाइट होता था डेली. तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था हमें, तो कैसे क्या किया जाए समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. तो फिर हमने पापा से 5-6 हजार रुपये मांगे कि हमें दे दीजिए और हम जाएंगे लाने के लिए सब्जी मार्केट से, खुद से सब्जी. तो हमारा सब्जी मार्केट वो 20 किलोमीटर दूर था हमारा. तो गाड़ी पर बैठ के हम जाते थे, सवारी गाड़ी पर 10 रुपया दे के हम जाते थे. वहां से सब्जी लाते थे और दुकान पे बेचते थे. और ट्रेनिंग भी शाम को 4 बजे करते थे जाके.
शाम को 4 बजे ट्रेनिंग करना. मैंने कहीं पढ़ा है कि आपने ई रिक्शा भी चलाया है, टोटो, टू सस्टेन लाइवलीहुड.
जी मैम, हमने रिक्शा कब चलाए थे कि जब हमारा दुकान टूट गया था, वहां से हट गया था, ओवर ब्रिज बन रहा था वहां पे, तो काम चल रहा था वहां पे, तो दुकान वहां पर हटा दिया गया था. तो उस काम में तो 2 साल लग जाता है सर मैम. तो फिर इसके लिए हम सोचे कि अब हमारा ट्रेनिंग भी बंद हो जाएगा, सारा चीज बंद हो जाएगा. तो फिर हमने खुद से पापा मम्मी को बोले कि हमें वो टोटो दे दो कीन के और हम चलाएंगे गाड़ी को. तो हमें 50-60 हजार रुपया दे के एक फाइनेंस पे टोटो लिए और हमने चलाना स्टार्ट किए. और चलाते हुए बहुत सा प्रॉब्लम आया, बहुत तकलीफ आया. लोग मतलब पैसेंजर तो खैर सबका भूख रहता है मैम कि रोड पे चल रहा है तो आप वो पैसेंजर मेरा है, वो पैसेंजर मेरा है. वो भी हुआ था, थोड़ा बहुत तकलीफ के सामना ज्यादा हुआ था. टोटो भी लिए थे, तो किसी तरह मैनेज करते हुए हमने काम कर रहे थे और ट्रेनिंग भी थोड़ा थोड़ा जा रहे थे. मगर प्रॉब्लम ये आ रहा था कि जब हम टोटो चला रहे थे तो फिर हम जिम नहीं कर पा रहे थे, प्रैक्टिस हम कर नहीं पा रहे थे. तो 2023 में जब हमारा डाइट का प्रॉब्लम हुआ, पैसा कुछ स्टॉक रखे थे तो वो हमारा खर्च हो गया सब पैसा, तो जाके हमें लगा कि अब क्या होगा पता नहीं चल रहा था, तो फिर हमने टोटो बेच दिए। टोटो बेच के हमने नेशनल चैंपियनशिप खेले दिल्ली जवाहर नेहरू स्टेडियम में। वहां भी हमें निराशा ही हाथ लगा कि वहां भी हम तीनों लिफ्ट फेल कर दिए, हमें कुछ भी नहीं हाथ लगा और बहुत तकलीफ हुआ, दुख भी लगा कि अब मेरे पास कुछ तो है ही नहीं, तो हम करेंगे क्या कर सकते।
जी, और पावर लिफ्टिंग में जाना, पावर लिफ्टिंग को चूज करना, बहुत से लोगों को पता नहीं है कैसे करने हैं, और उसके बाद पैरा पावर लिफ्टिंग में आगे बढ़ना, आपको लगा कि ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट होगा, फिर भी आपने ये क्यों चुना ये फील्ड?
मैम देखो, जब हमने टोटो बेच दिए, हमने बिजनेस किए इस चीज के लिए, तो हमें अंदर से तो थोड़ा हम टूट गए थे कि अब मेरे पास तो कुछ है ही नहीं, अब क्या करना चाहिए। मगर जिद था एक मैम कि हम कुछ करेंगे, अंदर से भी एक मतलब कि एक अंदर से भी आवाज था कि आप कुछ कर सकते हो, हम करेंगे, कुछ करेंगे। मगर एक जिद था कि हम जिम करेंगे, हम मतलब कि अपना बिहार के लिए खेलेंगे और अपना देश के लिए खेलेंगे। जब 2022 में हमारा सुधीर भाई साहब का जो मेडल आया था कॉमनवेल्थ में गोल्ड, तब जब से हमारा टारगेट था कि हम कॉमनवेल्थ में हम भी मेडल लाएंगे, है ना। सही खाली बस मंच मिलना चाहिए, सही प्रैक्टिस होना चाहिए, सही डाइट मिलना चाहिए। जो गुजरात अच्छा ये जी कहते हैं आज इसका ये चीज होता है पर शायद है और हम खेलो ये इंटरनेशनल ही कर तब पहले चाहिए लहरा और
ऐसी हैं कि जो मॉडल वो उनसे हुए
हुए के कहते हैं इससे कि हम इसे तो हम में देश धीरे धीरे होते बाद हम जैसे हमें मिल
शुक्रिया बात पब्लिक का।
भी था इतना और जिस से चार दिन मिल रहा है हो रहा है कि मेहनत करेंगे इंडिया के लिए
बिल्कुल सब काम कर
So in lift made time to go anyway. Coming up after the break, after the Lok Sabha passed the anti-paper leak bill, it now moves to the Rajya Sabha for voting today.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा। सबका राजा प्योर मसाला।
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जल जीरा जीरा से।
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
रानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות. כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות וגם לתת.
Vande Mataram bill to be tabled in Lok Sabha today, bill to criminalize insults to national song.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
I wake up wearing someone else again. Skin tight like porcelain. I don't recognize these eyes. Something scratching from inside. Don't let it slip. I'm losing control. I don't wanna be safe anymore. Underneath there's a fire they can't keep. No more faces.
Finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Republic TV. This is Shivam Dutt Mehta. And now let's get you all the top developments from the nation in Bharat in 1 minute. Heavy rainfall in Rudraprayag has triggered landslide and erosion at several points along the Kedarnath highway, disrupting vehicular movement. District Magistrate Vishal Mishra visited the affected stretches to assess the damage and review the ground situation as authorities monitor the impact of the ongoing rains. Rajasthan Chief Minister Bhajan Lal Sharma chaired a high-level meeting at the Chief Minister's office in Jaipur. Senior officials attended the review where the Chief Minister assessed key government priorities and issued directions for effective implementation of ongoing works and initiatives. Odisha Revenue and Disaster Management Minister Suresh Pujari chaired a high-level review meeting in Bhubaneswar to assess the flood situation in the state. Chief Secretary Anu Garg was present as officials reviewed the impact of rising waters, relief efforts and preparedness measures. All right, viewers, it's time to slip into a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we have a lot more lined up for you after a short commercial break. Coming up next, Lok Sabha to table Vande Mataram bill today, bill to criminalize insults to national song.
बेस्ट हरा बोर्ड दिखाना सबसे डिपेंडेबल सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस ट्रायल लूंगा श्योर वाटर रेजिस्टेंट है स्ट्रॉन्ग है हाई डेंसिटी वुड फाइबर स्ट्रक्चर एडवांस जर्मन एडहेसिव बॉन्डिंग सॉलिड डिफेंस ट्रायल में पास सेंचुरी के 40 सालों का भरोसा हरे बोर्ड का असली बॉस सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये हित तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा सबका राजा आरती और मसाला।
I wake up wearing someone else again, skin tight like porcelain. I don't recognize these eyes, something scratching from inside. Don't let it slip, I'm losing control. I don't wanna be safe anymore. Underneath there's a fire they can't keep. No more faces.
Finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות. כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות וגם לתאם.
Water. Setting
today between position and the bill takes what line cover all for T47 final, Murli Sri Shankar clinches second silver in high jump final. Achwa Lok Sabha passes anti-paper league bill. It moves to Rajya Sabha today for voting. Vande Mataram bill to be tabled in a Lok Sabha today. A bill to criminalize insults to national song. Over 40 civilians killed in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir during heavy crackdown. Protest wave now reaches Islamabad. West Bengal police recover rupees 28.5 crore cash, 15 kilograms of gold during a search operation at the house of Minu Mondal, who's allegedly a close aide of TMC leaders. Here's our top focus at this hour after the Vande Mataram bill, officially called as Prevention of Insults to National Honour, was passed by Rajya Sabha yesterday on July 29. It is all scheduled to be taken up by the lower house of the parliament, that's Lok Sabha today. We've already seen opposition coming in from several parties, including Samajwadi Party, AIMM as well, and this comes in as government continues to push for the national song to become a symbol of India's pride. There have been several steps taken by the government already in this direction, and now the bill that brings the national song on par with the national anthem and gives it the statutory protection that is given to national flag, national anthem, is now expected to be tabled in Lok Sabha today. And this comes in after Rajya Sabha, the upper house of the parliament, passed the same bill yesterday as well. So we're looking at for fiery debate in Lok Sabha today over Vande Mataram bill. It comes in as government continues to make heavy push to make the national song Vande Mataram a symbol of India's pride, and to make sure that it gets the same legal status as it's given to national anthem as well as to national flag and Indian constitution. All right, in fact, my colleague Shambhavi, who's been very closely tracking all the developments from Vijay Chowk, now also joins us. Shambhavi, we're looking forward to a fiery debate in Lok Sabha as Vande Mataram bill, which was passed by Rajya Sabha yesterday, is all set to be tabled in the lower house today.
Absolutely. Two major bills were tabled in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. One was the anti-paper leak and the other one was the National Honour Amendment Bill. And this bill was particularly, it was tabled in Rajya Sabha and was successfully passed. Now it is all set to be tabled in the Lok Sabha. And of course, a debate, as you very rightly said, a fiery debate is expected to follow this entire process. And a little about this bill is this aims to protect and give legal status to Vande Bharat and also categorically categorize any act which insults the Vande Bharat. But it has opened a wider discussion regarding the entire national symbol, national song, national anthem. And although when this bill was being discussed in Rajya Sabha, there was a major walkout which was planned by the MPs, by the opposition MPs, and they walked out. And even then, they were asking for answers. The NEET paper leak issue, the entire confrontation, the entire monsoon from the NEET also and also taken stage going to when on the table if it a smooth pass, it becomes a smooth passing, or such similar disruptions and walkouts will be taking place.
Right, of course, Shambhavi, we are, anticipating that there could be a walkout staged by the opposition, as happened in Rajya Sabha as well. But we understand that the opposition is also set to hold a protest at about 10:30 at Makardwar, which they usually do. And this is going to be over the alleged police brutality against the student protesters, as well as Ram Mandir donation theft. So what are we, what details are we fetching on that front?
Well, yes, we know that the opposition has been demanding a lot of answers from the government even after the resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan, because when this Vande Mataram bill was being passed, there were questions raised about the possibilities and about the priorities of the government of the centre, given that amidst this entire paper leak or the protest which was against the NEET paper leak. What is the government's priority? This was being asked by the opposition members, by the opposition MPs. And today, of course, there are several other bills which are important in this entire monsoon session. We'll see if that takes place, whether it's about the Ram Mandir donation theft or it is about the MSME bill, or it is about the Supreme Court amendment bill, where the sanction strength of the Supreme Court judges will be increased from 33 to 37. So there are several other bills which are scheduled to be tabled. But again, something which is to look forward to today is the National Honour Bill being tabled in Lok Sabha. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Shambhavi, for joining us and getting us the latest on this. Keep tracking all the updates, what's unfolding inside Parliament, and we'll keep coming back to you. And now viewers are moving on to another big breaking news that we're getting at this hour. Now, Indian embassy in the US has slammed US media report over a Pakistani Kashmir headline. India has called out the headline misleading and incorrect. India reiterates Pakistan's illegal occupation of the parts of Kashmir while blasting media reports and reiterating that Pakistan continues to illegally occupy Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Now, viewers, on one side, we're getting these reports of the kind of brutalities, the kind of human rights violations which are taking place inside Pakistan-occupied Kashmir at the hands of these Pak forces. And on the other side, you have Western outlets which are trying to distort the narrative and try to whitewash Pakistan's illegal occupation of the same region. You had a headline put out by a US media outlet which was completely distorted, goes against the reality that is on the ground. And now India has slammed that headline, slammed the incorrect and the baseless report by US media outlets, saying that India continues to maintain that Pakistan illegally occupies several parts of Kashmir, and this is what the POK reality stands at the moment. In fact, my colleague Chandrakala also is live with us. Chandrakala, now we're looking at this completely baseless and incorrect headline put out by US media outlet, and Indian embassy rightly has called it out, reiterating that, Jammu and Kashmir remains integral part of India and Pakistan continues to illegally occupy several parts.
Yes, in fact, once again, the anti-India sentiments, the anti-India propaganda has been exposed. Now, of course, as POK is witnessing massive protest over the month, now what we are learning is in US has fact-checked one of the, the New York Times misleading headline. Of course, what we are learning is India has expressed, the Indian embassy in US has expressed strong objection to the New York Times for describing Pakistan-occupied Kashmir as Pakistani Kashmir in a headline of their recent report, terming it misleading, and they have reiterated that the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh have been, are, and will always be an integral part of India. In fact, has consistently maintained its stance over over POK, reaffirming that it is an inalienable part of India at several instances, in fact, including at global platforms such as the United Nations. Now, what is the Indian embassy in the US saying? It's, the headline in the New York Times is misleading and incorrect. There is no Pakistani Kashmir, only Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. It says that the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh have been, are, and will always remain an integral an inalienable part of India. Pakistan has illegally occupied parts of these territories and is now using violence against the occupied people. This is the embassy's statement, official statement that has come now. What is the New York Times headline all about? It says that fresh clashes erupt in Pakistani Kashmir on first day of contested vote. Now,
right.
We have also seen that, the Defense Minister Arnab Singh on the occasion of Kargil Divas on July 26 has criticized Pakistan for making terrorism as a part of its state policy, saying there will be no talks with Islamabad other than on Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, which is a part of India, illegally occupied by the neighboring country. So yes, a very, very, important message being put out by the Indian embassy in US, reiterating New Delhi again, because we have seen time and again, India has affirmed that J&K always has been and will always be an integral part of the nation. We have also seen in
India has rightly called out to the incorrect headline. But if you look at this incident, it is not an isolated incident. It's part of a larger pattern where you see Western media outlets continue to push a pro-Pakistani agenda, continue to whitewash the terror acts of Islamabad.
Yes, in fact, we have seen earlier also, the Western media outlet has raked up the Kashmir issue in different platform, in different international platform, and this pro-Pakistan propaganda has always been their top-notch priority. And now, of course, India has once again reiterated. We have also seen earlier this month, India's permanent representative of the UN, Ambassador Harish, has emphasized New Delhi's stance on Jammu and Kashmir, where he has said that the only issue remaining regarding Jammu and Kashmir is the naked aggression and illegal occupation of India's sovereign territory by Pakistan. So yes, once again, it's a strong message being put out by the Indian embassy in US, completely slamming the report by one of the leading newspaper in US. So yes, very, very message once again being put out by India in the global platform.
Right, Chandrakala. Thanks so much for joining us and getting us the lowdown on what exactly unfolded and what has been India's response to that incorrect headline. Thanks so much. Now he was addressing CRPF's grand investiture ceremony in Delhi. CRPF Director General Gyanin Pratap Singh has now urged personnel to perform their duties without fear and in the national interest. Assuring full backing to operational and law and order units, he said he would take complete responsibility for all bona fide decisions and the actions taken in the discharge of their duties. So that's a strong message coming in from CRPF chief to his personnel, assuring that there's full backing for them for their actions performed in the line of duty, while also saying that they can discharge their action fearlessly in the national interest. Take a listen.
मैं बल के महानिदेशक, बल के प्रमुख के रूप में आप सभी को यह विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं, चाहे हमारी ऑपरेशनल बटालियंस हों, चाहे हमारी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की यूनिट्स हों, आप सभी राष्ट्रहित में, जनहित में, बल हित में जो भी निर्णय लेते हैं, जो भी एक्शन लेते हैं जो कि बोनाफाइड डिस्चार्ज ऑफ ड्यूटी में है, उन सभी निर्णयों का और उन सभी एक्शंस का संपूर्ण रूप से बल के प्रमुख के रूप में दायित्व मेरा है। आप अपना काम निर्भय होकर करते रहें। जहां भी जो भी दायित्व लेना होगा वह संपूर्ण रूप से मैं महानिदेशक के तौर पर लूंगा। इस चीज को मैं आज फिर आप सभी के सामने दोहराना चाहता हूं।
And now viewers, Republic TV reveals the striking indifference of global media regarding the dreadful killings which are taking place in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. In recent weeks, unarmed civilian demonstrators in Rawalakot and Muzaffarabad have been ruthlessly shot by Pakistani security personnel, but not a word condemning these actions of Islamabad. Here's a full report. Take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, big story tonight, which has got ignored in terms of the media attention on CJP, is that on the 27th and 28th of July, the day before and yesterday, after 51 days of peaceful sit-ins in Rawalakot, the Joint Awami Action Committee resumed its long march towards Muzaffarabad and POK. So there is chaos in POK right now. I have always believed it's a matter of time before they break away and they come back like they've always been. They're an integral part of the country. We need to make POK, practically and totally and irretrievably once again with us, which will happen. But what did the Pakistani security forces do? Today they are carrying out a genocide. The plight of the people in Kashmir that Mirwais Umar Farooq does not have the courage to talk about. He's a coward. Omar Abdullah also will not talk about what the Pakistanis are doing, what the ISI is doing to Kashmiris in POK. Neither will Mehbooba Mufti, of course, she's on the payroll, so I'm pretty sure, I suspect, of the ISI. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll show you 5 visuals which you need to see about what Pakistan is doing to the Kashmiris. They should keep their mouth shut and not talk about Kashmiris anymore because they carry out the genocide of Kashmiris. First visual is the massacre on the streets of POK. Hear this. Open firing on innocent people. Visual 2 right now. A crowd of people engulfed in smoke due to rampant shooting by the Pakistani Rangers. Hundreds have been massacred in POK. We pray for the people of POK, for the brave people of POK who we know are longing to be back in their homeland of Bharat. We wait for the day this mass genocide stops. The Congress party should talk about it. And even the Tukre gang, CJP, ladies and gentlemen, Abhijit Dipke, a firm believer of the Tukre gang, the Tukre CJP should also maybe talk about it since they have decided to become a political party. Visual 3 tonight, so that nobody says, Arnab, you're not showing proof. Pakistani Rangers openly firing at a crowd of people as the crowd disperses amidst the shelling. And visual 4 is actually quite heartrending. An injured man being taken to an emergency ward, ladies and gentlemen. Blood is visible in his foot after he was injured in the violence. Bloodshed all over POK. My dear viewers of Republic, in the present context here in India, as we have all now realized, the CJP is with Greta Thunberg, foreign forces. The Pakistanis are also supporting the CJP and a lot of support from Pakistani handles for the CJP. I want to tell the CJP, your alignment with the Tukre gang is clear. But why don't you talk about what's happening in Kashmir since you're gratefully accepting support from all members of the Tukre gang, of which you are also a member, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear 2 of first-hand views of the people and what they are talking about the brutality by the Pakistani army.
इन ज़ालिमों को शर्म नहीं आती इस रोड पे जहाँ पे खून ही खून है गोलियां मार रहे हैं हमारे भाइयों को क्या तमाशा है ये आप हमारे पैसों पे पलते हैं ये गोलियां हमारे टैक्स के पैसे से खरीद के हमें मार रहे हो ज़ालिमों ये क्या कर रहे हो इंटरनेशनल मीडिया भाई सारी दुनिया ह्यूमन राइट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कहाँ मर गए आप सब लोग
Countless people in my Ramlakot have been murdered. Countless of my brothers, countless of my fathers have been killed in Ramlakot, and the world is staying silent. No one is speaking up for Kashmir. We never thought a day like this would come. We never thought we would have to see this day where our roads would be filled with our people's blood. Our soil is going to be covered with our people's blood.
कोई हया कर लो जितनी इंटरनेशनल मीडिया देख रही है प्लीज़ हमारा साथ दें हम पूरा मन लोग गए हैं बेशुमार लाशें बेशुमार जख्मी भाई उठा के हमारे कंधे थक गए हैं एक भाई ने आके अपना ऐसे रुमाल भाई निचोड़ा तो उसके अंदर से जो चीज़ निकली ना वो कश्मीरियों का लहू था भाई साहब कश्मीरियों का लहू था ये हालात हैं यहाँ पे
बहुत बुरी है सबको मारी जा रही है लगातार इतने तक 3 बंदूकों हेडशॉट की इन्होंने किया है.
Dear viewers of Republic, we are now hearing that 10,000 people have been killed in the last few days. This is among the worst genocides in the world. And yet, America is quiet, Trump is quiet. Most importantly, the Tukre gang in India is quiet. The Congress party is quiet. Mirwais Umar Farooq is quiet. Omar Abdullah is quiet. We've said that POK is an integral part of India. But this is the time to speak up and say more than that. If you're watching this broadcast, if there's something that you can do to stop this genocide, do that. And let's be sure of one thing. Even if CNN and BBC are not going to talk about the bloodshed and the genocide in POK, the Republic Media Network, bringing you these pictures, pleads to the conscience of these fake organizations like Al Jazeera. You see, Al Jazeera is a fraud organization. And that's why this fraud organization will not talk about the genocide in POK. Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN. They're all fraud organizations. The biggest genocide in the world is happening right before their eyes. And they're talking about the weather in London. Shame on them.
And viewers, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Live and Breaking with me, Shita Mitra. Don't go anywhere. Coming up on the other side, after Lok Sabha passed the anti-paper leak bill, it now moves to Rajya Sabha for voting today. Getting you all the updates on monsoon session of Parliament on the other side. Stay tuned.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ, स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
地震発生直後 RKK 報道フロアでは大きな横揺れが。天井の看板、机の上のパソコンも
Welcome back, viewers. Now, while large parts of Assam continue to battle devastating floods, India's star sprinter Hima Das has now stepped off the track and onto the ground to help those in need. Visiting flood-hit villages, interacting with affected families and distributing relief material, the athlete is now leading by example. Here's a report. Take a look.
Extending support to families affected by the devastating floods. The Commonwealth Games medalist visited waterlogged areas, witnessing the scale of destruction and interacting with residents on the ground. As floodwaters continue to impact normal life across several districts, relief operations remain underway with the support of authorities and volunteers. Hima Das's on-ground efforts have drawn praise, with many hailing her for standing with flood victims beyond sporting arena. At a time when Assam continues its battle against rising waters, the athlete's humanitarian gesture has emerged as a powerful example of service and solidarity.
Coming up on the other side, Lok Sabha to discuss Vande Mataram bill today, as a bill criminalizes insults to national song.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार।
विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
I wake up wearing someone else again. Skin tight like porcelain. I don't recognize these eyes. Something scratching from inside. Don't let it slip. I'm losing control. I don't wanna be safe anymore. Underneath there's a fire they can't keep. No more faces.
Finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े।
चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות. כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות וגם לתאם. סיימתי עכשיו פגישה מצוינת עם הנשיא טראמפ. כשאני אומר מצוינת זה לא מן השפה אל החוץ. שיחה עם שותפות מלאה, עם תמיכה הדדית, עם הבנה על היעד המשותף להבטיח שלאיראן לא יהיה נשק גרעיני וגם יעדים אחרים. אחת השיחות הטובות ביותר שקיימתי עם נשיא ארצות הברית, ידידנו דונלד טראמפ. היה שם גם כל הצוות הבכיר שלו, הצוות הבכיר שלנו, וגם כאן הייתה הזדמנות להחליף רעיונות וגם לתאם תאומים שהם חשובים לביטחון ולעתיד של מדינת ישראל.
It was a truly monumental moment in Senate. And of course, he was also a great champion of the United States Supreme Court. His impassioned defense of a wonderful person, a great gentleman, Justice Kavanaugh, ended a disgraceful attack on this very good man and gave us one of the greatest moments the Senate has ever seen. It was a truly monumental moment in Senate history. I believe it was Lindsey's perhaps finest hour. Destroyed their military. They want to meet, and we're meeting. We'll see what happens. There's a chance we could make a deal. And nobody tells me what we should be selling or not. Turkey's been a tremendous ally for me. Now, look, Turkey's been a great ally for me. You know, I think he's done a very good job. Did a good job with Syria. He's a friend of mine, and nobody tells me.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can. Dilip Gavit secures third gold for India. Mohammad Basil clinches silver in 100-meter T47 final. Murli Sri Shankar clinches second silver in high jump final at Commonwealth Games. After Lok Sabha passed the anti-paper leak bill, it moves to Rajya Sabha for voting today. Vande Mataram bill to be tabled in Lok Sabha today. Bill to criminalize insults to national song. Over 40 civilians killed in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir during heavy crackdown. Protest wave now reaches Islamabad. West Bengal police recover rupees 28.5 crore cash, 15 kilograms of gold during a search operation at the house of Minu Mondal, who's allegedly a close aide of TMC leaders. Welcome viewers, our top focus at this hour. A stormy session took place in Lok Sabha yesterday where Rahul Gandhi's unparliamentary remarks were expunged by the Speaker. And today, in an exclusive conversation with Republic Congress leader Jagdish Sharma, justifies the language used by the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi in Parliament yesterday. He even said that idiot is not an unparliamentary word, going on to say that language used by students against Prime Minister Modi and his mother is also justified. Listen in to this exclusive conversation.
कल जो भाषा का प्रयोग करा गया है पार्लियामेंट के अंदर, जो बाद में उसे हटा भी दिया गया उस वर्ड को पार्लियामेंट की प्रोसीडिंग से, तो आपको लगता है वो ठीक था?
देखिए, भाषा क्या गलत थी? इडियट कोई शब्द गलत थोड़ी है। इडियट पे विरोध करिए सरकार। कहना कि जब मैं अभी अगर भाषा की बात करते हैं तो सरकार बीजेपी की है। अब ये जो धुरंधर फिल्म आई है इसमें कौन सी भाषा है? सरकार क्या दिखाना चाह रही है? आप जाकर देखिए फिल्म, कितनी गंदी गंदी माँ बहन की गालियां हैं। कमाल कर दिया, भाषा की बात ये सरकार कर रही है। इसी पार्लियामेंट में तो इनके कहा था मुल्लाओं के बारे में क्या बोला था इनके एमपी ने